Hey, joining us today is Lynn LaRocca. She's the Chief Experience Officer for the New York Racing Association. Lynn, thanks for joining us today.
Well, thank you for having me.
Well, one thing we wanted to ask you about was, horse racing is a very storied sport. The Portland Timbers were telling us that they'd read an article about how in the 50s, horse racing and baseball and boxing were your biggest sports. So how are you handling customer expectations, still being in the modern era, but still having a lot of tradition behind you?
We at the New York Racing Association have done a lot of work over the past 3 years, really upgrading the technology that we have available to all of our customers. So we've brought digital to the forefront. We have a few apps that we're using. We've really tried to cut down the barriers as far as what it takes to be a wagerer, somebody that's interested in horse racing, and take it down to a level where people can understand and realize that they can really have a lot of fun coming to an event, whether it's at Belmont or Saratoga, betting on a few horses, and hopefully they catch the bug, and we have people there that can then show them how to bet even from their own homes, from their computers or from their mobile devices. So we've done a lot of work over the course of the last 3 years bringing all that forefront, or all that technology to the forefront.
And is there a lot of education involved for the consumer? Because it can be very confusing, although once you know it, this is very easy. It's very intuitive for a lot of folks. Do you have a challenge educating potential wagerers?
Well, we like to start off really with the basics, the win, place, and show.
Yep.
And lots of times, look, somebody who's a novice gambler can look and say, I like the name of this horse, I'm going to bet that horse, and you know what? 7 out of 10 times they might actually be lucky and win. There's a lot of people then that if you win once, you catch a bug, and then you want to keep trying. And so we'll show you how to take it from a win, place, show bet to maybe the next level, which would be an exacta. So try to pick 2 horses and then box it. And you don't really have to spend a whole lot of money. You can bet $2 or $3, and then sometimes you'll win 15, 20. And when people catch it and they understand it, they can bet colors, they can bet numbers, they can bet names of horses. And once that 1 or 2 wins comes through, then that bug is there, and then we can show them how to win, or how to actually read a program, how fast is a horse running. You can look at past performances of horses, which actually help you maybe predict what's going on in the future.
Yeah, you can also how they run on grass versus dirt.
Oh yes, how they run on dirt versus turf. And lots of times there's there's little tricks. Even when I first started, I thought, I liked names of horses, I liked numbers, I would bet, and then you also get to understand jockeys,
Yes.
and jockeys and trainers when they pair up. Sometimes when you see a really great trainer and a really great jockey on a horse, you kind of know that horse is going to do something for you. And then of course you look at the whole idea behind horse racing is parimutuel. You're actually betting against the other people that are betting on track, so you can watch the odds, and right up until that last minute at post, as soon as that bell goes off, you have an opportunity to bet, and you can watch the odds and see who the favorites are on track.
So how is mobile being leveraged specifically to enhance the customer experience? Because like I just showed you a minute ago, the application on my phone, the Horse Racing Now app, is it getting more and more sophisticated and kind of folding in some of the things we've been talking about as far as, analyzing the jockeys and so forth?
Yeah, mobile has become really prime for everything that we're doing at the New York Racing Association. We started off just having an app where people could watch races in HD. We were one of the first racing organizations that actually gave horse races in HD to our fans, and people really appreciated that. So they had that app, and then the next app built up into being able to wager, and now we're delivering other apps. Making sure that our website is mobile responsive is a key for us, because it wasn't previously, and our customers we see a lot of people at the track. They're actually at track with not only their mobile phones, they're there with iPads or their computers, so they're looking things up, they're they're analyzing and figuring out what to do as far as races are concerned. They're looking on phones. So we have to make sure that everything that we deliver to them is, suits their needs. So we're really looking at various apps that can help them on track on a daily basis.
And is there a technology you're looking to implement in the next year or so?
We're actually working with a company called Venue Next, which it's the easiest thing to do is to call it a remote control while you're on track. So the app itself, if you're on track, will help you bet. It will help you order food and maybe deliver it to your seat. You can actually purchase tickets through this one app. You can look at various history as far as where the track that you're on or some of the horses that are about to run that day. It's mobile wayfinding, it's finding your car, it's also helping with various events that are taking place on track. So that will be launching in the next 2 weeks.
That's
at
great.
Belmont.
And how are you, what are the challenges in listening to customers? Because again, you have kind of a disparate audience. You have, folks older than me that are betting on horses, and then you have young people that you're trying to attract to the sport as well. So how do you balance all that and figure out what people want?
Well, there are a lot of different consumers that we have, and we make a really concerted effort to deliver a personally relevant experience to each one of our consumer segments. So we've got the super serious horse player, we have a casual fan that maybe visits us 6 to 12 times a year, and then the next fan is somebody that's just starting. They may have heard about Saratoga and what a great place it is, so they'll visit us one day, they'll catch what I call the bug, and then we want to be able to bring them back again. So we do a lot of things. We entice, or we get surveys from our customers, and we elicit feedback. Our guest services departments are open on a daily basis. We have feedback through our apps, through our website, through email. So there's various things that we do, and our challenge obviously right now is trying to aggregate all that data, figuring out what the actionable insights are so that we can plan the roadmap moving forward.
And so what is the state of horse racing these days? Because where we are in Southwest Ohio, we've had one of our old tracks torn down and completely rebuilt by one of the casino companies, and then another one up closer to Dayton, same thing. I think a third one actually, I think Penn National rebuilt the Dayton racetrack. So horse racing is pretty healthy?
I think horse racing is healthy. I think sports in general has some challenges ahead of itself. People are more demanding. They want an experience. They want to be able to, to know that the money that they're going to spend on an experience is going to be returned to them, tenfold. So it's not only horse racing, but it's football, it's basketball, it's baseball. It's incumbent upon all the professional sports out there to figure out what that right mix of an experience is to be able to deliver to their fans.
And that's another thing we hear a lot from brands is about the experience within the experience, and especially with a lot of the sports teams we talk to. How is that being approached with horse racing? Because, again, people probably have a certain expectation of what horse racing should be like from, seeing it on TV and, portrayed on TV, not just on TV, but portrayed on TV. And then what, the modern expectations are for people having a night out or a day out.
I think that the beauty of horse racing that there's such pomp and circumstance around it, and we see, especially at Belmont and at Saratoga, that people want that tradition. They want to be able to come to the track. They want to dress up. They want to wear hats. They want to wear suits. And sometimes they just want to come in a pair of shorts and a cooler and sit in the backyard. But we want to be able to deliver that experience to all of our fans, but with those modern conveniences, HD television, apps that they can look at on their phone, Wi-Fi accessibility while they're on track. The ease of being able to come in, park your car, walk into the gate, find your seat, bet on a few horses, buy some food, have a great day, and then leave and hopefully come back the next day.
Sounds awesome. Well, Lynn, thank you for joining us today. We appreciate you taking the time.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.